Greetings once again and welcome. Namatai Kwekweza reduces George Charamba, the donkey, to a political pauper. We have seen the young lady Namatai Kwekweza schooling George Charamba, putting him in his place, and he has really greatly been embarrassed. You see, most of these people, they think that they are so knowledgeable and they know it all. But at times they are reduced by young people that are upcoming and intelligent and focused, and they are told the truth, and this truth is truth that does not exist among the people of ZANU-PF. And it has been very exciting to listen to the argument that happened between the two on social media. Jamwanda, by the way, is George Charamba, and I told you that nowadays he's running away from talking about what is happening in the country. He's avoiding as much as possible the issue of exactly what is happening in the country, the tensions, the Gezi revolution. He doesn't comment about it. He would rather talk about what happens somewhere else, and that's what he has always been doing. And so he says here, I hope Zimbabweans have seen how South Africa, under attack from Trump, is rallied back and together across the racial divide to show across race harmony and unity. They've beautifully used song and dance featuring different races to dramatize racial harmony. I shudder to think how it would have been if the attack was on Zimbabwe, right? Can you see this? Can you see this? So he is talking about what happened, South Africans supporting each other, standing with each other during the time that they call themselves having been attacked by Donald Trump, right? They call it an attack, whatever, that is a story of another day. But he is saying if it had happened to Zimbabwe, I wonder what could have happened. Were they going to be united? Were they going to respond in the same way South Africans respond? And Namatai Kwekweza then commented and said, the donkey doesn't understand that the South African government generally has goodwill from its people. Unlike in Zimbabwe, South Africans are not being abducted, tortured, and detained. They have a functional judiciary which with independent courts. They have more freedoms that are defended by their independent commissions. Their country is not perfect, but their government tries and does its best. The difference is in Zimbabwe. You focus more on the foreign look east policy than domestic policy. You hypothetically claim patriotism by the day, when by night you are shipping your children to Western countries. By night you are bleeding the country, looting our diamonds, abducting and disappearing those who question. In Zimbabwe, you disrespect the constitution, rig the elections, and disrespect the will of the people. Too many people with loved ones dying in public hospitals because you loot from the hospitals. Too many doctors and nurses treated like dog, when these are the people that must be respected, paid, and never threatened. Your evil regime will never have the love of Zimbabweans. It will never be supported sincerely by Zimbabweans. This is something that you, Jamwanda, cannot understand. So you and the regime use violence to beat people up like how you would beat up your wife, right? Just hear this. This has been powerful and so strong. George Charamba has been reduced to a political pauper, I tell you. He has been taught, schooled by a young person in Zimbabwe. There's very young people that they are forbidding to fly in Zimbabwe. The very young people that they are butchering and trying to, destroy their spirit, to break down their spirit of wanting to be leaders. We have many people that are gifted, young people in Zimbabwe who can be vibrant leaders. But the likes of the George Charambas and Cabal, they don't want to go for retirement. They don't want to leave these positions. They hold on to power at any cost, to the point of even killing innocent people in Zimbabwe. So we say kudos to Namatai. You have really taught George Charamba a lesson. And in this one, he sees that he does not know anything. And there is a reality which is on the ground, which he decides to cast his eyes away from. But that reality is on the ground. So he should not pretend as if he doesn't understand what really is happening or the differences between Zimbabwe and South Africa. There is a vast difference between these two countries. See what happened with the ANC. ANC was defeated in the elections, but they did not roll out tankers in the streets and say soldiers must shoot South Africans because we lost the election. They followed the constitution and went into a GNU, something that their constitution states. Right now, South Africa is led by different parties, and still things are happening. The work is going on. What do you do? How many times have you seen opposition winning and you rigging elections? And when people question, you shoot people in the streets, you abduct people, you disappear people. And you think that is good? South Africans are allowed to demonstrate anytime that they are not happy with what is happening. They do demonstrate. They demonstrate for the municipality. Whenever there are issues with the municipality, they demonstrate against government and they demonstrate against individuals. And police are there to make sure that they keep peace and nobody's victimized or arrested. Nobody's followed up at their home at night with people that are in dark goggles. It doesn't happen in South Africa. So this is why when attack in courts comes to their country, they can stand together and try and defend one another. It can't happen in Zimbabwe because you have built in Zimbabwe a divide and a rule tactic. You, ZANU-PF, have created hate in Zimbabwe, toxicity in Zimbabwe. And this is a big problem which needs to be solved. That's why we are saying Emmerson Mnangagwa and all of you, his cabal, must go. Because this is time that we need to fix our country. We need to bring our country back to normalcy. Zimbabwe is not a normal country until you people are gone. And that is the reality on the ground. Zimbabweans are sick and tired of you. You must go. You have confessed many times that you have killed people. And don't think we forget. We still remember that. And one of the fine days, you will find yourself paying so dearly for all the statements you have uttered. And you will rot in prison for all the looting, the killings, and all that you have done, the evil you have done against the people of Zimbabwe. So this is what it is, family. It is quite very interesting what we are seeing happening in the country as more and more pressure is being mounted on Mnangagwa and his cabal. Very, very soon, we know what is going to happen. The end is coming. The end is fast approaching. It's faster than ZANU-PF. This is the season of change, and God is in it.